or to pursue a master's program in the near future as well. This session is hosted by Seed Global Education. My name is Sharang Taimade, and I will be moderating this session. I'll be taking you through certain presentations that we'll be seeing over the course of the next 60 to 75 minutes. Perfect. So we have everything set up and everything's live. We've got some questions in the Q&A tab as well, and we're going to look at the Q&A section. A couple of announcements before we start off with the first presentation. This is just a little bit of introductions I'd like to do, and I'll introduce each speaker as and when they come about as well. The first speaker is going to be Richa Agarwal. She is the country manager for Bocconi University. I've just added her to Spotlight, and she's going to be talking about Italy as a study destination and why each and every one of you could consider Italy to be a place where you could do your master's or your MBA in the near future, or also think about pursuing a summer school in the next couple of months. Richa, over to you, and you've got some time to take us through as to why students should consider Italy a place to pursue their masters.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for this. And hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Like Sharon said, my name is Richa. I'm part of the Bocconi University, and I lead the India market. And I'm going to be your go-to person for the next admission cycle, or this admission cycle that you're looking at. But with that, I'm going to quickly share my screen and get started. So, like I said, Bocconi University is a European university based in Italy and in Milan. Milan, I'm sure everybody's heard of, right? So when I speak of Milan, what are the things that come to my mind? Fashion. Yes, we are the world capital for fashion. Football. Yes, guys. Sports, the upcoming Olympic winter sports in Milan, the Formula One, the luxury cars, the art and culture. Milan houses the world's largest cathedral, the second largest opera house, and a timeless masterpiece by Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper. Food, of course, all the food lovers out there, Italy, Milan is going to be their next place. But guys, in addition to this, the lesser known facts, do we know that Milan is also the economic capital, the financial hub for Europe? It's the second largest GDP for Europe. Milan alone houses more than 120 financial institutes. Yes, guys, that's where Bocconi comes into the picture. 1902, more than 120 years back, Bocconi was established exactly to cater to this requirement of Europe. We were the pioneers then to start offering the degree programs in the space of economics, finance, business management, and law. Yes, these are our flagship programs, but these are also very reputed, credible, top-ranked programs. FT ranks us top 10 in the world. QS ranks us top 10 in the world. Needless to say, we are the leaders, and we've been consecutively ranked top 10 in the world. Having said that, we have in last 120 years had more than a lakh alums. Every year we have about 15,000 students, and we have a global footprint across the globe, right? So talking about the master's program, we have 2 years master's in science programs exactly in the fields that I've talked about. All of these programs are entirely delivered in English. 2 years program, the first year comprises of your core courses, and the second year is when your specializations kick in, is when your internships or dual degree options kick in. And we'll talk more about it as we progress in today's session. Talking about the network, in last 120 years, we built a formidable network of more than 280 partner universities, offering more than 30 joint programs, the double degree programs. And if you look at the map, we have, again, a very global footprint out there. All the top 10 universities across any of the countries are our partner schools where you can do your student exchange or your dual degree programs. Employer relations, we have more than 4,000 organizations who participate in the recruitment drive every year. Each year, more than 13,000 offer letters or internships are rolled out to the students. And we have a very dedicated and a very able team of trained professionals who take care of our students. And there are various activities which happen across the campus for our students, be it the bachelor students or the master students. They handhold into the entire process. Some fun facts here. Every student on an average has more than 4 interview calls, has more than 2 offers in hand, and we have about 97.1% placement rates. Again, another interesting fact, takes about 15 days, an average time needed for a job to be converted. Now, that was about the Bocconi and the programs. Now let's talk about the admission process. It's an online process. Three things that you have to make sure that these are very vital and important for your application. We mandatorily need a score. It could be GMAT, GRE, or Bocconi's own online test. Second is an essay. Third is your resume. Three things which you don't have to take stress, which is the CGPA or the title of the degree. You could be a BSc, BCom, BA, or a BTech student. It could be a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree. All of the students are absolutely eligible to apply to the Bocconi University. We do not need LORs, and work experience is not mandatory. The ballpark, the range is about 0 to 13 months of work experience. We have 5 deadlines every year. So if you're looking at the intake of 2025, the process starts in September. Your first deadline will be November. For those who are looking at a 2024 intake, the next deadline, the 4th deadline, is on the 18th of April, and the 5th one is on the 23rd of May. Coming to the fees and funding, being a private university, we have rock solid scholarship options that we offer to our students. And fun facts here again, 1 out of every 3 students gets a scholarship, and more than 50 million euros scholarship has been awarded to our students. They're broadly into 3 categories: merit-based, need-based, and diversity-based. Right? We'll discuss more about scholarships with our alums and our students, and they can share their experience as well. Talking about campus life, it's a very vibrant campus of more than 130 clubs. There are I talked about 15,000 students and more than 100 countries, nationalities which are represented. So it's a very active and a vibrant campus. We have a beautiful, a new age sports center, and it has all the facilities that a student can wish for on the campus. We do have campus accommodation as well. There are about 7 residencies and approximately 2,000 rooms that can be let out to the students, right? And based on your interests, you can sign up for single occupancy or twin sharing or 3 sharing. But I think with that, I'm going to hit the pause button and invite our alum. And over to you, Sharang, to talk about more experiential components of Bocconi University. Thank you.
Super. Thanks so much, Richa, for doing that. Can I also invite Yatin, who is an alumnus of Bocconi University? Yatin, thanks so much for taking our time to do this. For everyone, in fact, I'm not going to do more of his introduction. I know there are a lot of questions coming in the chat about the summer school and about are there certain programs. Hold your horses. We will take you through everything that you want to know. Each and every question will be answered. Just hold your horses. We want you to understand a little more about Bocconi University and Italy as a study destination. So we'll be happy to do that. And we'll hear from Yatin. Yatin, before we learn about Bocconi and stuff like that, would you like to tell the audience a little bit about you, your background, what you're currently doing, and what did you study at Bocconi, and what are you currently doing?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Yatin. I am currently graduated from the Masters in Business program. During my university years, I also did 2 internships and some part-time work for companies called Campari, Casavo, and another school where I was teaching English. I also did my specialization in project management and consulting. And right now I'm applying for roles in Europe and also Asia. So, yeah.
So a little bit about your background, Yatin. What did you study in India? Where are you from in India? A little bit about your family, and how did you decide to move from India to a city like Milan, to a university like Bocconi? What were some of your motivations to do that?
So basically, I was looking at the ranking tables for different sorts of programs. I came across the program MIM from a senior that was doing the MIM program at a different school, and I was pretty much in the start of my undergraduate. So that's when I found out. So after my research, I landed at Bocconi because they were the only top school in Italy, which kind of had a really nice geographical advantage that I can also witness right now as I look for work. And in my previous experiences also, it was the kind of students that were mostly around me also in my internships. And also, it was a really good, well-ranked program. There was lots of freedom in terms of choosing the subjects I like. So this also got me to apply for Bocconi. Another reason was because in my home country, that is India, we also had a lot of emphasis on 11th, 12th, 10th, and undergraduate GPA for applying to university. But in Bocconi, the analysis and the selection process is a lot more open-minded. You can give the GMAT. You can also have multiple ways to prove that you're a good fit for the programs that you like. For example, statement of purpose and things like that. So it gave me a chance to make an argument for myself as a as an appropriate candidate. And so I applied to Bocconi. And once I got in, also, they have really nice options in terms of specializations, and multiple things to study, multiple ways to evaluate in the exam. So I was pretty much sold. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk a little bit about the academics at Bocconi, because at the end of the day, we are looking at the program that gives us the best academic experience, apart from so many other factors that determine a top quality master's or an MBA program. So, what were some of the particular courses that you really enjoyed? Maybe you can throw some light on the faculty. Was there something different you learned in terms of pedagogy that an Indian university might not have been able to give you during your time in India while you were learning something?
So I think the key factor is, of course, a lot of the fun happens when you specialize. Before, you're learning more job market relevant stuff like a bit of human resources, a bit of marketing analytics, a bit of banking, a bit of law, a bit of financial analysis. But these are the things that you have to learn in order to be job ready. And once you get into the specialization, you can study pretty much things you like, but also you can analyze the way the exams are taken. So if you think you're more of a presentation person, you can take subjects that relate to that kind of an analysis. If you think you like group projects, then you can put yourself through that. If you like just the usual traditional way of exams where you do multiple choice, long and short answers, if that's more your thing, you want to just self study and work on your own, then that's also an option. So according to that, I chose my specialization in project management and consulting because it had a lot more interactive way of delivering the specialization, because a lot of our work was just projects and presentations. And we had this professor called Professor Penarola, who was pretty much my instructor for all of these courses. So he was a pretty interesting person, and we had a lot of fun through his classes. Also, for in our usual mandatory courses, we had a corporate strategy, which was also instructed by our current dean, Carlos Salvato, who was also a pretty interesting teacher and always been more and more involved with the students, and always had a different kind of approach to teaching because it was more like a dialogue and less like noting down information for the exam. So these were like some of my favorite courses. Also, there's also an opportunity to take a subject outside of your track where you can basically study anything you want. And for that, I took management of design, which was also another interesting project we did. Where back then NFTs was a really cool concept, so we did our presentation on that. So it was pretty fun.
Cool. So just to summarize, this is 21st century learning. This is learning not just about what you have focused on, but also, taking up subjects. So that is outside of your core study area. There's a lot of flexibility also that students get. So overall, we're talking a lot about flexibility and about 21st century learning. A lot of questions, and there's a question in the chat box also, is career opportunities, especially for international students. Before we go on to understanding what you're actually doing and how you landed the role that you currently are at, let's try to understand a little bit about some of the international exchanges or the internships that you might have taken up during your course. Can you throw some light on that? If
So
not
yeah,
you, maybe some of your friends might have pursued something. Maybe you can throw some examples on that as well. Thanks.
I think a lot of our students go for exchanges across the world because we have like so many partners. I decided to stay in Italy because I was also awarded with a really generous financial aid, and I wanted to also start working in Italy to cover more of my costs and just get myself started on a career here. So I started my internship for supply chain at an alcohol conglomerate called Campari. They basically buy alcohol brands from different countries and test it in other markets and see how it works. And that's how they make their money. And fortunately, my internship was 100% in English. So that went pretty well. And after that, I also wanted to do another spin at an internship So I was also able to, through Bocconi and through the Italian curricular internship structure, I was able to do one more internship, get one more experience in real estate, and that's where I was working in finance for financial controlling under this company called Casavo. So
Hmm.
the good thing was this internship was also in English, so things were going pretty well for me during these times, and also because Bocconi has a very flexible calendar of exams. You can pretty much give your exams 3 times in the year, so that really helped me plan my internships and figure everything out. I could study my specialization subjects in the first semester or second of the second year, basically, whenever I wanted. So there was a lot of flexibility in when you wanted to wrap up things with regards to exams and classes and take them up as well. So that kind of really helped me do 2 internships, not even one. I mean, one is mandatory, the another one I did just for my own pursuit. So yeah, that really helped. And of course, for exchange, a lot of people also went to different schools. We also had some incoming students from India, from IIMs. So it was a nice heterogeneous batch because we also get students from the US, like Carnegie Mellon, and we also get students from Canada, for example, McGill. So we have people from all these top schools, and we're working on projects with them. So it gives a nice exposure and a wide variety of ideas when you're working with them.
So, um, as per what you're currently doing, Yatin, could you throw some light on what is, your current role in terms of, career opportunities, and how has Bocconi helped you to reach some of those career goals at this point in time?
So currently, I'm in the job search mode. I have been looking for roles actively in Italy, but also abroad. Bocconi helps because when I'm trying to target Italian companies, and that's usually like 90% of my applications go for companies in Italy, it really
Hmm.
helps because they are aware of the university I go to, and pretty much this is the only top university in the geographical area. So it kind of gives an advantage to that. Also, a lot of people that I've worked with before in different internships were also from the same university. So you get an idea of the kind of courses that are high in demand, but also the subjects. Because let's say you're studying for placement, let's say you're studying for career days, you can talk to recruiters, see what kind of subjects you like, and also match them with the subjects in demand. And then you can study those subjects in your second year to be more job ready and just have a more relevant credentials in your curriculum. Also, this helped because I had like a really tough subject in Bocconi, which was performance measurement. I really did not like it at all because it was the only thing holding me back multiple times. But the kind of but I think that was the kind of course that you don't want to know, but that's the thing that makes your job ready. That's the thing that
Hmm.
you have to know in order to be ready for the marketplace, which I didn't know before because I was just studying business economics before, which wasn't that intense. So now the the expertise that I gained from that very subject helps me answer questions for interviews today for finance, because finance sort of is, I've learned to realize that finance is a bit AI proof, and finance is also like a growing market no matter how the economy gets, because if the market is bad, you need finance. If the market is good, you need finance even more. So I guess it kind of helped me fall into the job ready direction, regardless of whether I'm interested in the subject or not, because well, you can study what you like when you want to study it, but what's important is important, and that's what I learned through my curriculum.
Sure. Couple of questions have also come in the chat as to, as an international student, if someone wants to study in Italy, do they need to learn the Italian language? If yes, how much? And could you throw some light about if you faced any language barriers during your time as a student? How did you manage to combat that?
I think being abroad in general means you have to always keep your ears and eyes open. You need to be aware, but it kind of helps if you know Italian even a little bit to decipher what people see and what's in the news, and decipher the environment around you so that you can grab more opportunities and know what's happening where. You can also be a nice link between people who don't speak and people who do speak. And it's easy to network, make friends, and also a lot of jobs have these bilingual advantage. I wouldn't say it's necessary. I would say, like, for someone to work in Europe, it's important that they know how to talk to people or talk to computers. So if you're good with finance, if you're good with data, if you're good with analytical stuff, crunching numbers, things like that, if you're good with softwares, if you're good with numericals, that's also one way you can find a really nice flourishing career in Europe. And also it's a good way to transition into other countries, because the skills would be much more transferable than, say, local language. Local language, of course, gives you the advantage that not only do you study in the top university of the region, but also you can communicate well with not only internal people but also external. So it gives you an edge in terms of applying to roles such as marketing, HR, uh, communications, things like that. So Italian can always be, the more Italian you know, the more it helps. I wouldn't say it's like a deal breaker, but it's just you transition into a much easier life the more you understand and know.
Interesting. Great. So, it's not mandatory to learn, but if you have some knowledge of it, it's fine. I'm guessing everything that you mentioned about Bocconi University being completely English speaking, to study at Bocconi, you don't need any bit of Italian language, because all the faculty, etc., all the classes will be in English. Yatin, we'll spend some time little bit talking about the summer school. And I know that just before I ask you about the summer school and the experience that students could get, there are over 63 to 70 questions that have been asked in the Q&A tab. A lot of them are about the summer school and about the scholarship. So be patient, because after we have this conversation with Yatin, we learn more about the summer school, and then we learn about how you can get 100% scholarship to study at the Bocconi Summer School in Italy, which will be happening in a couple of months. But let's talk a little bit about your advice. If you could give some advice to candidates that might consider coming to Bocconi, either for the summer school or for the master's program in the next couple of months, what would be some of your pieces of advice that you would give? What would, let's say, Yatin of today tell Yatin, who had just booked his flight ticket to come to Milan for the first time? What are some of the things that students should take care of? And how can they thrive in this new environment?
So I would say that first of all, it's important to be dynamic, have an open mind, and keep your eyes on everything that's happening everywhere, not only in your own country, but also other countries. Because, well, when you live in Italy, you live in the European Union, and there's opportunities all over the region to grab. And I would also say, like, getting out of your comfort zone is really important. Italian is a way to get out of your comfort zone because you learn a language that you haven't known. But there's also other ways, like just getting out, looking also outside of university, just keep asking questions, and not being afraid from getting rejected, or not being afraid from hearing no. Because also I've noticed that a lot of our faculty was really kind. In general, I used to think like business school would be like, if you're like in class at 8:1 instead of 8, you get out, or you don't get attendance, things like that. But it's very, very far from that. As long as you ask, it's people are really helpful. Because usually, like, there's this mindset that if I have to do it for you, I will have to do it for everyone else. But usually people are not asking as many times as you're nervous about just some opportunity. So it's sometimes that simple to just go and ask, and be uncomfortable when you're abroad, so that easier you transition easily. And it just gives you more knowledge and more wisdom. Even if you get rejected, it's better than not trying at all. I also think that Italian is not something that you can avoid in general. So you will be studying it at university. To an extent, it would be mandatory as well. But it's something, but consider it a blessing, and think about things as challenges, not as obstacles. So that really helps you maintain an attitude in school that can help you to grow, and not resent yourself or resent your environment. You just have to, you can also like move abroad and not get out at all, and like live a peaceful life, make some few friends, party, study, complete your course, and go back home. But then you can also, like, you have to realize that just getting abroad is not the only step. There's also how you interact and what you do once you get here that involves much of the work.
Right. Yatin, you said some, couple of interesting things here. We spoke about academics, we spoke about careers. We've also spoken a little bit about career goals and stuff like that. But tell us something about the out of classroom activities. Yeah, tell us something what Bocconi students usually do on weekends, what you guys would like to do on Friday evenings and on on weekends, especially? What are some of the hobbies that students can hone, in terms of their skills, etc. While they are at, does Bocconi provide any such opportunities for students to also maybe take up some sports or stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess the number one hobby at Bocconi would be studying. So after that, there would be lots of opportunities to network on common interests, not only business aligned, but also like personal fun. Like I would say, we have ski clubs, we have clubs for pretty much all in each and every sport that's popular in Europe. So you can get your hands on something that you don't know before. We have a movies club, we have clubs for music. We also have clubs for more professional things like management 360, investment banking, and aspects like these, where we're working for real life companies. We're working with senior people in these companies, and that actually gives you some practical real life experience, which not only is like great for your CV, but in general, you know some people in some really good places that can really help you when you're coming to look for work. Once you're done with your degree, some people would remember you and they can really help you out. And also, like from the career fair perspective, that's how I got to know, okay, what are the kind of subjects that are really job relevant. People will just answer straight up if you ask straight up. Other things, that there's lots of things to do in Milan. There's different ways to find expose yourself to different industries. You can work in fashion by just networking well. It can be something as simple as sending out emails and looking for work person by person, or something, maybe you meet someone in some place and time. Again, that has to do with getting out of your comfort zone to be somewhere at the right place at the right time. You can also work with of course, you also get to work in other sort of dimensions. You can work in teaching, just like I did, get some more experience in that. You can also learn different things, like work on your hobbies in terms like I learned some theater, I learned some miming. There's also lots of there's also lots of artistic things to do. Then there's also like getting more into the actual work in Milan, where there's investment banking events, there's crypto events, there's also events related to fashion. So basically, the opportunities are out there in the city. People just have to find how to get there, and people could start from really, really small things, like just working towards one event, or volunteering, or maybe something simple as catering in bars. But then they get to know some really important people who can help them elevate to nicer opportunities much faster if they just like spend time outside. And then the associations inside Bocconi, these kind of help you skip a few steps and get directly hands-on action in some of the most crucial business decisions that companies in Milan and worldwide make, and how Bocconi has a role to play as an advisor, and then you also get to step in those shoes. So even our hobbies have really strong implications in terms of our future, because, well, either you're getting mentally fit or physically fit, or just getting better in a career standpoint. It's a huge heterogeneous basket of opportunities.
Interesting. Yatin, thanks so much for this wonderful piece of advice that you've shared, um, and spoke about your journey. I know you're going to be hanging around here. We already have close to 75 unanswered questions, and there are 400 plus people in this room right now, and there'll be more questions coming around. But most of them are, keen on learning a lot about the summer school, which I know that you spend a lot of time at as well in terms of from a faculty perspective. So we'll talk a little bit about that slightly later. But I'd like to invite Alicia from the Bocconi team. Yatin, thanks so much. Thank you for hanging around here as well. We'll be happy to come back to you for any interesting questions that can come in through. Alicia, over to you. Would request to take us through this. Richa, if you can stop screen share, that will be super helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon, and thank you, Yatin, for sharing your experience. My name is Alessia, and again, I give you my warmest welcome from Milan, from Italy, and from Bocconi University. I saw many questions regarding the summer school program, so it's finally time to actually start talking about what this is all about. So Summer School 2024, I will be your point of reference. So for any questions regarding the program, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us, with me and the rest of the team anytime. Okay, so first of all, this year, 2024, is going to be very special for us because it's going to be the 10th edition of the summer school program. Just imagine we started 10 years ago with only a small bunch of students, and last year we had about 400 students joining the summer school for bachelor students. This year, the program is going to take place from the 1st to the 19th of July for 3 weeks. So it means that for 3 weeks, you will fly to Italy and spend time with us at Bocconi in Milan. At the end of the program, for all of you completing the course and passing the final exam, you will get a Bocconi official certificate stating your score, your grade for the summer school program, and also stating the 6 credits that you gain with the program. This means that for those of you interested in getting some credits recognized at home university, you can do that and you will get 6 credits. Here you can find a list of the courses that you have a chance to apply for at summer school at Bocconi. On-campus courses that we offer, we have a program in finance, equity and venture capital financing, we have digital marketing, we have entrepreneurship and innovation management, we have luxury management, of course, we're in Italy, we have international business strategy, and we have one of the most recent programs in sustainability transformation, ESG finance and energy management. We still have only one course online. For those of you interested in finance, the same finance course will also be offered in the online format. What's important to understand is that you will be admitted to one course only. So you will apply for the summer school, you will be selected for one course only that you will be studying for the full duration of the program. What to expect from the Bocconi experience? First of all, you will leave the urban campus at Bocconi, which means you will leave as a regular Bocconi student for 3 weeks, enjoying our campus, which is located basically in the heart of the city, just 10-15 minutes walk from the main square where our amazing cathedral is located. Second, you will be able to interact with the business community. As anticipated by Riccia, Bocconi has many partnerships with around 4,000 employers. And what we try to do in the small duration of the summer school is we try to put you in touch with them and to get to experience the Italian landscape. And last but not the least, you will be able to feel the Milanese vibes because it's a summer school. So there will be a combination of academics and extracurricular activities. The idea is we want you to experience Bocconi and Italy to the fullest. So what happens is usually in the morning, as you can read from 9:30, we'll start with the lectures held by, of course, Bocconi faculty. So you will get to meet professors with different backgrounds and different experiences. You will do visits. So I will not share too much information because I know that one of our students will tell you more about it later, but you will go to visit some companies. You will be working with other students coming from literally each corner of the world. So you will do group work, you will have assignments, and you will present your projects in front of the classroom and the companies, and you will do extracurricular activities. Last but not the least, a final exam. So here we have a beautiful picture that I want to explain you in detail. Starting from top left, we have our auditorium. So just imagine, just picture yourself flying to Italy. You get there, you arrive on campus, and the first day, the first morning, you will be there, just like in the picture, attending the welcome session. Where we will give you our greetings. We will give you your welcome kit with all the Bocconi material that you will need during the program. And then bottom left, you can see an example of classroom, an example of activities that you can do. So there will be, of course, professors explaining the lectures. You will have guest speakers coming from the companies, but also there will be more informal moments working on group projects with your classmates. The central picture is, the iconic image of our campus that becomes Bocconi Summer School blue during those 3 weeks, because the campus will be very vibrant, very lively, and you will get to meet many, many students. And this is the main entrance where you will attend the classes. On the right side of the screen, you can actually see some of the extracurricular activities. So for example, we organize a bus tour of the city of Milan because we want you to see from a different perspective our beautiful city. We will organize again for this edition our cooking class. So you will have an Italian cooking chef explaining how to, for example, make pasta from scratch. So you will learn a little bit about our Italian culture. But these are just a few examples. There will be sport tournaments, there will be Italian aperitivos. And for those of you who don't know yet what aperitivo is, I ask Shreya later to tell a bit more about it. So literally, it's going to be a combination of academics, rigorous Bocconi academic excellence, combined with Italian culture and Italian lifestyle. Coming now to the more bureaucratic part, application. So what us, Bocconi, are going to require you to submit on our portal. Consider that this is the procedure for a standard application. Later on, Sharon from SEED will tell you more about what to do in addition to this in order to obtain a scholarship. So for the standard application, you will be required to submit an application on our Bocconi portal by April 23rd. So you still have a lot of time to do that, but don't do it last minute. We will give you selection result as a second step. And the last step will be the payment and enrollment to confirm that you're interested in participating to the program. Important disclaimer, because you guys are from very far away from Italy, it's important to start early with visa procedures, and the Bocconi team is always available to support you with that. In terms of documents required for the application, very easy, only a few elements required. Student records from your bachelor, resume and motivation letter. That's it. As you can see, we have written that English is required because, of course, the program is fully taught in English, but we don't require any official certificate. So it's literally records, CV, motivation. So very, very straightforward application. In terms of program fee, here you can see the fee structure that we offer at the Bocconi Summer School, depending on the format on campus and online. Today, I would like to focus on the on-campus edition, as this is the one that we encourage you to attend and the one we offer scholarships for. So as you can see, there is a regular fee, but actually, if you apply also to the SEED competition, I already share with you great news, because all of you applying via SEED will have a discount. So as you can read, SEED applicants by default will have a discount for the program. On top of that, some of you will win a scholarship, and so Sharon will tell you more about it later, but just to let you know that there are so many opportunities for all of you guys. In terms of accommodation, we have a beautiful residence that we dedicate to summer school students, because we would like to have the students together so that they can share an experience and help each other out. Of course, if you prefer to find a private accommodation, you are absolutely free to do that. But just to let you know that there is this beautiful option. It's Aparto Residence, which is 5 minutes walk from the campus. So literally you wake up in the morning, prepare your material and go to class. And in 5 minutes you are there. There are different options of rooms, single rooms, twin rooms. The idea is that for, again, the 3 winners, the room will be free of charge. So stay tuned for the scholarship information. So now I would say it's time for you to listen from one of the former participants of the Bocconi Summer School from 2023, but also from one of the winner of the scholarship, the full scholarship with SEED. Shia?
Hi. Thank you for that, Alicia. I'll just share my screen. All right. Hi, my name is Shreya, and I'm currently pursuing BCom honors from Delhi University. I will be graduating this year, and I'm also doing a couple of internships. I've also done a couple of internships. And in my opinion, since most of Indian universities do not offer summer schools, It is definitely a golden star on your CV as it helps you stand out. Talking more about my experience, I was on the other side of the screen exactly 1 year ago. I attended this webinar last year, participated in this competition, got lucky, and won the scholarship.
Sorry, Shreya, yeah, we're just waiting for the presentation to go full screen.
Just a second. I hope you can see it.
Yeah, and you didn't get lucky. I think you did a great job to participate and win.
Thank you so much. All right. So I went to Italy in the summer of 2023, around May and June. And as soon as I landed, I was in love with the city, this campus, and the accommodation, which was also covered in the scholarship. So this was the view from the accommodation. As you can see, the campus has a very vibrant vibe to it. On our first day, we got a tour around the campus where we saw different buildings and the sports facilities that were available to us. I chose the International Business Management course, which was as interesting as it sounds. And I think the super supportive faculty at Bocconi made the course even better. During the summer school, they took us on different case studies, which we could so that we could understand how businesses are run in a more practical manner. One of the field trips was to the Parmigiano Reggiano factory, and the other one was to the Maserati factory. Bocconi also offers different extracurricular activities during the course, which I personally think is really, really fun. One such activity was the cooking class, where we made delicious pastas, and the other one was the bus tour around Milan. And as you can see from our happy faces, we were just delighted to learn about the city. Talking more about the city, Milan is a very student friendly and an international city, and it's welcoming to all the cultures. Our accommodation aparto was near to a lot of restaurants, grocery stores, and some really delicious gelato places. Yeah, so these were some of the places that were super close to our accommodation. And there was luckily an Indian restaurant as well. Milan is a very centrally located city. It's only a couple of hours from the beach and the mountains. So during the weekends, I would go off for a vacation with my friends. In fact, I also took the liberty of traveling solo, which was an altogether new experience for me. This on the left side of the screen, you could see the train station that's in Milan. And it's honestly one of the most beautiful train stations that I've ever seen. All right. So just to quickly wrap it up, summer school at Bocconi was an amazing experience to say the least. And it changed me for the better. I made so many friends from all across the globe. And I tried a lot of new things as well. And if there's one thing I could just do right now, it would be to turn back time so that I could relive all of this again. That would be all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shreya, for that wonderful presentation. I just wanted to remind you that Shreya, once a competition winner is only once a competition winner. Unfortunately, we might not be able to accept her application this year, but there are 300 plus and many more students that are interested to apply. Some of them might reach out to you, via LinkedIn or some other platform. And, if they have any questions, maybe you might be able to help them out. We've got a lot of people here from Delhi University colleges as well. So for everyone who's still here from Delhi University, you can see that a fellow Delhi University student actually participated in the competition and won that last year as well. Thank you so much, Shreya. If you can wait back, we might, ask you questions in the Q&A tab. And now, for everyone who's been waiting for the last 47 minutes, if I'm not wrong, we will, talk about what we are looking for predominantly. Yes, I'm just going to quickly share my screen and I will now take you through this wonderful competition that we are looking to run along with Bocconi University. Great. I believe my screen is visible right now. Perfect, great. So, my name is Sharan, and I represent Seed Global Education, and we're here to talk about the Bocconi University Milan Summer School competition powered by Seed Global Education. In this video, we'll take you through a little bit about how you can participate in this competition and also win to 100% scholarship to attend this summer school competition, including housing. Yes, housing will also be covered in this if you decide to win this competition. Um, Perfect. So as mentioned, three of you could be spending your summer of 2024 in Milan with full or partial scholarship, and we will reach out to you and we'll take you through this presentation as to how you can be some, these winners. You just heard from Shreya. Shreya was the winner of the 2023 edition of the Bocconi Summer School competition. She's been, she is from the Al College in Delhi University, and she got 100% scholarship, including housing. We also had another student from Delhi University, Merul, who was from the Shahid Sukhdev, SSCBS, Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies, who also got a 75% scholarship and came in second place. And Aditya Kadam was from Triple IT in Hyderabad, and he won a 50% scholarship along with housing for the Bocconi Summer School, which happened last year. But in this presentation, in this video, we'll be taking you through how you could be a winner this year. So what is this competition all about? In this presentation, I'm going to take you through some of the frequently asked questions. There are 67 unread, unanswered questions in the Q&A tab, and most of them are around some of these. So thank you so much for each of you that are here and still waiting in this Zoom session. We'll take you through the eligibility criteria, the process of how you can apply, a submission checklist, what all you need to submit, what is our shortlisting criteria, what are some of the timelines, who is the jury who will decide this, what are some of the rewards, and how you can showcase your interest. We'll paste it in the chat box as well. My colleague Chetna will paste the complete application link in the chat box once we reach that particular slide as well. So eligibility criteria, this eligibility criteria has changed for now. We are not only accepting participants only from India, we are accepting participants from everywhere from different parts of the world. So if you're from Pakistan, if you're from West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, from East Africa, Kenya, or in different parts of the world, you are now eligible to apply for this summer school competition, and you can still get 100% scholarship to be there. One thing that we might note, if you are interested to pursue a master's program within the next 1 to 2 years, which is the next 24 months, then you can have a better chance of winning, and that is something that we do believe. So that is the eligibility criteria. You need not now be from India. If you're from India, that's fine. But if you're outside of India, you're still eligible to participate in this competition. This is one of the new changes that we've had since last year. Perfect. Moving on. Apart from what Alicia said in her presentation as to what are some of the requirements for the Bocconi Summer School to participate in, to submit your application there that is for the Bocconi portal. But to participate in the summer school competition, again, I need you to remember that these are two separate submissions. You'll be making two submissions. This submission is going to be focusing on the scholarships. If you're looking to win a scholarship to the Bocconi Summer School competition, then this is what you'll have to submit: a 500-word essay on why you should be participating in the Bocconi Summer School. So it's like a statement of purpose or a motivation essay that you'd like to have, maximum 500 word, and also a video about why you should be selected for the Bocconi Summer School competition, or why you should be selected for the Bocconi Summer School. The three winners from last time had the most creative, best looking video. So it's a 2-minute video that we require you to submit. And when you upload this on the landing page, which will be shared in the chat box very soon, once you upload this, please remember that you need to upload Google Drive files where the URL is accessible and everyone with the link can access it. Again, this is a technical, technical requirements which you'll have to do. Otherwise, we'll not have access to any of this. Please remember that while you submit your application to this competition, we will need you to share your undergraduate degree score, your class 12 percentage or CGPA, a one-page resume or a LinkedIn profile, and some questions like where you'd want to pursue your masters if you want to do that. As mentioned, that for candidates that have an intention to pursue their masters in the next couple of years, this could be, this competition could be specifically for you. Again, if you are uploading Google Drives for your resume, you might have to upload that. Please ensure that the link is shareable and visible to all. Moving on, let's look at the shortlisting criteria. We get all this information from you, then we will shortlist each and every candidate basis 4 elements of 4 criteria, which is creativity. So how creatively you have the essay or the video, your communication skills, confidence that you have displayed in the essay and in the video, and some of your presentation skills as to how you have managed to present yourself in there. So that is the shortlisting criteria that we have. And most importantly, Bocconi has certain criteria as well, and we'll be looking at how you could be a perfect fit to Bocconi Summer School. So at the end of the day, the perfect fit matters for the Bocconi Summer School, and we are looking for that particular person which would have the perfect fit to win this particular scholarship. The admissions portal. So apart from submitting your application to SEED, you will also be submitting your application to the Bocconi Summer School portal. We'll share the link in the chat for this one, as well as to how you can submit your application to the Bocconi Summer School. We've done that already, but we'll still share it in the chat once again. The website or the web page will look something like this. However, if you have registered for this event, then we will send you reminders about how you can submit your application to the SEED Summer School, for the SEED Summer School competition, and to the Bocconi Summer School as well. So we'll share these links with you via WhatsApp and emails over the next couple of days. Folks, for everyone who has questions, please use the Q&A tab. We've got my colleagues that are answering questions by typing them out, and we'll take some of the relevant questions in the Q&A section after we finish this as well. Let me quickly take you through some of the timelines. Today, this video has been recorded on the 26th of March, which is where the masterclass is being taken place, which is the Study in Italy masterclass and the introduction to the summer school. You'll have a deadline to submit the entry to this competition being the 8th of April. We will announce these, we'll announce the shortlist on the 15th of April on SEED's Instagram. So, you can follow SEED Global Education on Instagram, where we will announce who the shortlist or who the winner of this competition would be. Followed by that, there'll be interviews with the country managers. So we will shortlist a few people, and those candidates who have submitted a very good application to the summer school competition with the video and with the essay and with some of the other documents, they will go through an interview process with Bocconi's country manager, Richa, between the 15th to 19th of April. Each participant will have to submit their entry to the Bocconi on the Bocconi portal for the Bocconi Summer School by the 23rd of April. Otherwise, you will not get any of the early bird discounts. And finally, we will give the result of who has been shortlisted or who has won this by the 7th or 8th of May, again, to be announced on SEED's Instagram. So this is the timeline. You can see this, on your screen. Maybe you can take a screenshot, take a photo, but we'll share the recording of this video regardless with you tomorrow on your registered WhatsApp number and your registered email address as well. Let's meet a little bit from, folks from the jury. There is Mario, who's the Director of Guidance and Recruitment at Bocconi University. There's Veronica, Chiara, Stefano, Alicia, who's made the presentation about the summer school a little earlier. And we've got her colleagues, Martha and Valeria as well. And Richa, who is the Country Head and Guidance and Recruitment Manager at Bocconi University. Please note that the decision of the jury is going to be final and binding, and they are going to be deciding who the 3 winners. So it's a large jury. to decide who the three winners of this competition would be. So could you be one of the three winners to get 100% scholarship, including housing? Please remember that this scholarship is not only for the tuition fee, but also covering housing expenses. So what expenses will not be covered? We'll not be covering flight cost from your home city to Milan. We'll not be covering any incidental costs that you have, which includes food and etc. That you might take outside there, or any of your other personal expenses. But tuition and housing will be covered 100%. The first reward is 100% tuition fee and housing. Second reward is 75%, and third reward is 50% tuition fee and housing. And we'd like you to be participating in this competition and winning this. So we've shared the link in the chat as to how you can register and how you can apply for this Bocconi Summer School competition. And I'm going to stop sharing screen, and I'm going to be taking any kind of questions that we have. We have 65 odd unanswered questions. We'd like I'm going to look at some of these questions, and I'm going to answer some of them myself. I'm also going to invite Alicia, Shreya, Richa, and Yatin to join in and do contribute to any kind of questions or any kind of details they might have about the summer school, or about some of the other elements about studying in Italy, studying at Bocconi University. That might be super helpful. So just going to quickly add you all to Spotlight. And just waiting. Perfect. Cool. So I'm going to take some of the relevant questions in here. And, I know, Alicia, you had mentioned, I'm going to start off with you. I know you had mentioned some of the, an ideal candidate for the summer school, but if you can again throw some light as to who can participate in this summer school, what is, who's the ideal candidate that we are looking at, so that, we get the right people to apply for the summer school.
Absolutely. So for us, the ideal candidate is basically an undergraduate student. So a student undertaking a bachelor program. The idea of the summer school, let's say the program has two different goals for you. On one hand, is a way for you to study one specific topic of interest. So it's a way to deep dive into one topic that you already know that you like. On the other hand, it can be a way to discover something new. So it's summer, it's a short program. It's a way for you to explore a new industry, for instance. Consider you are in a completely different environment to what you are used to. So for us, it's important that the applicant, that the student is an open-minded person, ready to contribute to class discussion, ready to be in an environment that is very international, because you will get to meet people literally from all over the world. So this is our ideal candidate, someone that is committed to be part of this program, someone that is gonna take advantage of all the opportunities.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Alicia. Shreya, my next question to you is, we've already seen a lot of questions come in the chat as to what do you expect in that 2-minute video? What do you expect in your essay? Could you throw some light as to or some tips as to what did you do in order to make a compelling pitch to the jury as to why you should be selected through the video and through the essay?
Yeah. So I remember doing tons of research. Initially, I researched about the course that I wanted to pursue, and then I did some research about Bocconi University. And when you're applying to a university, the people who are sitting in the jury want to know why you're so passionate about the place that you want to study. So that's one thing that you should be certain of. You should know why you want to pursue the course, and have the same rhythm of flow throughout the essay and even in the videos. And just be creative with the video, and be yourself. And one big tip that I would give to the students here who are looking to study in the summer school is that please don't use ChatGPT. I think everyone would be able to understand that you haven't written it yourself. So just write it yourself and be your authentic self in the video and in the essay.
Perfect. My My follow-up question to you, Shreya, itself is about Italian language. I know that Yatin has spent some time answering the question about Italian language, but he spent a slightly longer time there. Whereas for 3 weeks, how much of Italian do you think you should know? And did Bocconi help you with any bit of Italian language while you're there?
So I think we didn't have enough time to learn Italian through Bocconi University. But if you're just there for 3 weeks, you don't need to know Italian completely. Just the basics would suffice, and you could always make an Italian friend who will help you navigate through the cities. That's what I did. And just learn the basics, and you're good to go.
Perfect. Richa, if I'd like to get your sense a little bit as to from a visa perspective, right? We'll talk about the visa perspective for an Indian student in two cases. One is when they are pursuing a master's program. Could you throw some light on what is the visa that they receive? How long can they stay back after? And when it comes to the summer school competition, I believe the students will be going on a different visa. Could you throw some light on that as well, and maybe a validity of those things on that visa?
Sure. So, Sharang, if you're applying to a master's program or a bachelor's program, which means you are applying for a degree program, and if you've received the offer letter, you will be applying to a Type D student visa, and the validity is, of course, the duration of the program and 1 year stay back option. So this is a stay back option to look for a job. This is not in this duration. You will. It's not a work visa. It's a opportunity for you to explore another opportunity, either to pick up a academic master's or a PhD, or accept an offer letter. So this is about the master's program because it's a degree program. So you will be applying for a student visa. For the summer schools, it's a certification. It's not a degree program. So you are not applying to a student visa. However, based on the invite that it is already there on the system, once you get shortlisted, the students will be able to download an invite offer letter or a welcome letter from the portal, and they'll be able to apply for a short stay visa, a Schengen visa short stay. So this is the difference. And definitely there is no stay back. As long as the visa is valid, which is 1 month or 3 months, they can stay back in the country. But for a degree program, it's slightly more longish. It's more long stay kind of an affair.
Right, right. Awesome. Yatin, you've spent some time in the summer school, as a faculty and like helping students do there. Could you throw some light on what are some of the profiles of students maybe coming in from India that you see, and also if you can quote some of their experiences of being a part of the Bocconi Summer School?
Yeah. So firstly, I would start off with visa concerns. I would say like if the last three scholarship holders and all the other Indian students were able to successfully get to Milan, probably so will you. We don't have to worry about visa because I mean, it's a pretty good university, so visa authorities will know what we're doing and things like that. About the last few students, we get students from a lot of diverse backgrounds. We get students from different parts of the world. I was in charge of the program for sustainability, so we had a few students from Italy also for the first time. I think the summer school also had a few students from Italy itself. So you can expect a very, very diverse crowd in general, because if this is the first time you're having students from Italy, in general, we've had a very international crowd. We also had some students from South America, Europe, of course, USA, Russia, India, of course. So it's a very global crowd in general. So now what kind of activities are a part of the summer school? Of course, cooking class was already discussed, but particular to your course, you also get to have industry visits where you get to see the different sorts of companies, and you get to interact with that section, that horizontal or vertical element of that company which concerns with your education. So let's say if we were in sustainability, then we got to visit the factory of Barilla, which is like a huge pasta company in Italy. And after that, we were also visited by the visiting faculty of AC Milan. And from AC Milan, we had the members of the sustainability management team, which was basically instructing us on how to do their job. It was a pretty cool day at school, of course, for the students that were part of the program. But also, it's not just about exposure to big companies. You also get to see some really, really relevant information in terms of just the daily working lives of someone who works in the field of your concern, but also how they got there. So students can get kind of a roadmap of okay, where do we go after the summer school? It's not just okay, you get to meet these people and it's over. And you can also interact with them in questions and answers, just like you would with any other professor. So it's a pretty open-minded environment in the summer school in general. And the courses, of course, there are 6 to 7 courses, so it's a pretty intensive school. When you're in class, you need to be in class, but it's always very, very open. Once you're inside, a lot of things can be asked for, up for questions. A lot of things are debatable. You will find really interesting how there's, just like I was talking about the regular courses in general, there's pretty irregular and interesting ways of examining students, but also there's some standard testing as well, so that we know that you know what you know. So yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I think that was extremely insightful about what to expect and what kind of students to also expect. Alicia, quite a few questions upon on the size of the batch. And it's a good place to also talk about some of the a little bit about the diversity of the summer school program also, because it's not just going to be Indians and Italians there. I'm sure there are going to be students from different parts of the world. Could you throw some light on the international exposure in terms of students from number of geographies?
Absolutely. I have to say we have a very diverse mix in terms of nationalities, because the summer school, as Yatin anticipated, has been growing over the years. Last year we opened it to Italian students, which is fun because, I mean, we're in Italy, but up until last year the program was only for international students. Nowadays it's still mostly international, and then we have only a few Italian students that help with also blending in with the community. We have many students actually from South America, for example. We have students from North America, Europe, Netherlands, Belgium, the UK, Spain, Portugal, North Africa as well, Morocco, Egypt, Asia. We have students from Singapore. We have it's a great mix in terms of, and of course the Indian students. In terms of numbers that you can expect in the classroom, we try to give you an experience that is as similar as the one we have at the master level. So we want you to experience Bocconi as you were like a regular Bocconi student doing a master program. Specifically, it will depend on, I would say, the course that you will select. From last year, I can tell you that the two biggest courses were the one in finance and the one in luxury, because the topics are very trendy, they're very popular. So for those courses, you can expect around 80 students per class. For all the other courses, on average, we have 40, 50 students. So not too big of a classroom. We want to keep it very, very interactive. We want you to, to know in person the professor and all your classmates. So it's not going to be, the biggest class ever. It's going to be a small class where you can really work on group projects and activities. And I'm sure Shreya remembers how interactive it was. I remember also the last day taking pictures, like classroom pictures. I think you really kind of create a nice group. It's a nice, very friendly environment. I don't know, Shreya, if you want to add on that. I still remember the pictures of your class on the last day.
Yeah, as you said, there were a lot of people from different cultures, and even when I look back at the pictures, I can still see that we had people from all across the globe. And I even made friends who were Indians, but they were studying in the UK and they came to Bocconi for the summer school. So it's a good mix, and everyone is super friendly, so everyone gets along pretty well.
Perfect. A lot of questions on Alicia, Richa, if you'd like to share some insights on that. Any questions on the eligibility of the candidate to apply? Richa, if you'd like to share on for the summer school specifically, does the student need to have a particular background, in terms of what they're currently studying in the undergrad? Does it have to be related to the courses offered, or can students from a life sciences background or from engineering backgrounds or medical also apply for some of these summer school not the competition. Yes, the competition you could apply, but for the summer school overall. And And also, if you could, throw some light on what are some of the tips you would give for the applicants to get this 100% scholarship?
Sure, Sharang. I think that's a very important question. And Alicia very beautifully covered in her presentation that there are only two very important elements in this entire essay. One is why is it that you want to do the summer school at Bocconi? And the second is your profile, right? Your resume. You could be from any other degree. You could, an art students wanting to do a transformation sustainability program, or somebody from a technology wanted to do a luxury management. So this is a platform for you to experiment. This is, Alicia just talked about that there are typically two broad categories. One, where you already have, let's say, an interest in luxury management and you want to pursue it, take it to the next level, or you're just testing waters. You're not sure what you want to do, but take this opportunity, use this platform to experiment and understand what other courses have to offer to you and take a more informed decision at the master's level. So it's just okay. You could be hailing from any background, any title of the degree. We do not judge on the basis of your degree. We are only interested in knowing the why. What is it? How is it that the program is going to help you? Why is it that you want to do this program? We're only interested in that story.
Perfect. Yatin, I'd like to pick your brains as well. I've just asked this question to Richa. If you had to write an application to the Bocconi Summer School through a 2-minute video where you've got to be creative, or write a 500-word essay, you being at Bocconi for so long, do understand a little bit about what kind of student enjoys the summer school, and what is Bocconi also looking for, since you've also been on the other side. Could you, Yatin, throw some light as to top 2 or 3 tips you'd like to give students applying for this Bocconi Summer School competition?
Yeah, I think the most important thing would be to make yourself interesting, because it's easy to compare so many people on numbers. But that's the thing about comparing on numbers. You can be so easily on top, but also so easily beaten by a different candidate. So standing out is really important. It's really important to like be coherent, be clear with your application. I think that's a key point we also share for pretty much all our courses, that it doesn't have to be some Ivy League essay about why you hate the letter S. You just have to be clear about what you feel, your idea about the school, and be specific about what things you like. It's always nice to research the school. You probably don't know how many websites there can be about the different courses. You don't know how how deep you can dig and understand all the aspects. So it's not only great for the student itself. Maybe you're not even aware of what courses you can end up liking, and maybe your real interest lies in a different course within the summer school catalog. But also it helps to share to the jury that, well, you have an idea of what you're doing, you have an idea of what you're going to do, and that's really important, because otherwise you're pretty much again, all that's left to be compared is numbers. So you have to be interesting. You have to talk about stuff outside of school as well, and just show your interest regarding your concern, your study of concern with your activities outside of the school as well, because everyone can. There's always an 8 scorer or 9 scorer in every school, how much this interest resonates in your personal life can sometimes make an impact, and how well you do your research shows how much determination you have. So that can always help. That always underlines you as an applicant, because there's more to you to evaluate from. In general, you're just offering more to the table.
If I may add on that, like one practical tip for the competition specifically, of course, it's a scholarship, so it's a huge help that you are receiving to literally fly to the other side of the world. So my personal view is that you should also show that you're ready to take advantage of all the opportunities. I still remember Shriya's video. She was very committed. She showed that she did research, that she, spent some time on the Bocconi website, that she was informed about the topics, the course, the name of the professors, the name of the guests. Like, she was informed. She showed that she really wanted to do the summer school. It was just not a random application. And she showed that, okay, if I get the scholarship, I will go there. I will do my best to really take advantage, because it's, you know, it's a gift, it's a scholarship, so it's great. And studying abroad can really change your life. So even those 3 weeks, it's a short program, can have an impact. Just think of all the people you will get to meet, the new places, the environment, how this will broaden your mind. So my suggestion is really do your research and show that you're willing to do this and you're willing to put 100% of yourself in it.
Wonderful. Alicia has wrapped it up very nicely. I think we have covered everything from Italy being a great study destination, Bocconi University being one of the most reputed universities, the most international universities in Italy. We've understood a little bit about the summer school from Alicia. We've understood a little bit about the winner from last year's summer school competition who shared her thoughts. We've also heard from Yatin, a current student who's showcased, wonderfully how Italy and Bocconi are top destinations for Indian students to consider doing a summer school or a master's program at. And finally, we've also learned a little bit about the summer school competition and how you can win this summer school competition. And get 100% of your tuition fee waived off, including housing. So we are hoping that each of you could apply. If you have any questions about Bocconi University, you can see the screen where we've had Richa's email address, richa.agarwal2@unibocconi.it. And you can also follow Meet Bocconi on Instagram to hear more thoughts about the Bocconi Summer School. If you want some pictures or videos, please share this with your friends who might be interested to also pursue summer school in Italy. And I was in Italy last summer, and it was certainly a wonderful experience. And I spent a couple of days at Bocconi as well, hosted by the wonderful team at Bocconi. So each of you could spend your summer in Italy too. And we wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us for our advice as to how you could be a part of the Bocconi Summer School competition and win the scholarship of up to 100% of the tuition fee, including housing. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you so much, Richa, Shreya, and Yatin, for taking out time from your busy schedules. And we've spent at least an hour and a few minutes, hour and 20 minutes or so. But we've learned a lot about Bocconi, Italy, a study destination, and this wonderful summer school that's coming up. Thank you so much for everyone for watching and for being on this Zoom call. Wish you all the best and hope to see as many applicants flying in as possible. Thank you and good night. Goodbye.
Thank you, Charang and Team Seed. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. See you in Milano. Ciao.
Ciao.